A strike away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Judge on the ground. Presley's got it. Easy flip. Ball game over. And the Houston Astros win the American League pennant. The Astros are going back to the World Series.
The year is 2023, and the New York Yankees once again failed to reach the World Series. And after 20 years as general manager and failing to win the World Series in the last 13 years, fans were clamoring for a change, and the Yankees' managing general partner finally decided to listen and make a change in the front office and did not re-sign Brian Cashman.
So we have breaking news. Brian Cashman is out as Yankees general manager. Let's send it to our Yankee correspondent for more details.
Yeah, so according to my sources, the Yankees managing general partner Hal Steinbrenner will not be bringing Brian Cashman back as their general manager. Instead, I'm being told that they are going with an up-and-coming YouTuber.
A damn YouTuber?
Yes, a YouTuber named Jeremy Laracuente of the Baseball Banter Broadcast.
Well, this is a first.
Yes, for me also. There's a lot of chatter online about this move being made, and not much of it is positive either. Whoever this young man is, he's going to have a tough task ahead of him.
With the Yankees hiring a new GM from such an unusual background, fans and baseball pundits compared this to the movie Major League and began calling for Hal to sell the Yankees. Hal reiterates his desire to win a World Series and believes the new GM changes the outlook of the franchise by bringing in a new hope and fresh ideas to building a championship caliber team. Hal then introduces the Yankees' new general manager and president of baseball operations.
Thank you, Mr. Steinbrenner. Before I take any questions, I just have a few words that I'd like to say. Firstly, I would like to thank the Steinbrenner family for this opportunity. This has been a lifelong dream for me to become the general manager of the New York Yankees. I grew up a Yankee fan. On the era of Derek Jeter, Bernie Williams, Mariano Rivera, Andy Pettitte, Jorge Posada, and I plan to do everything in my power to be able to bring back not just a World Series winner for a single time, but another dynasty to the Bronx. The boss, the late great Mr. George Steinbrenner III, believed that anything less than a World Series championship was a lost season. And that type of failure of a season was unacceptable. And we bring that mantra from the 1973 purchase of this New York Yankee franchise by Mr. Steinbrenner up to present day. It is long overdue that the New York Yankees raise another World Series banner, and I will do everything in my power to make sure that we bring the championship back to the Bronx. So I'll take a few questions now. Yes.
Looking at this team, what are the priorities, and what do you plan to do about Aaron Judge? Because the previous regime was unable to work out a deal with him.
Well, that's a great question. I think we'll find out very quickly, won't we? If it's something that I'm capable of doing or not. But to answer your question, no one really knew what my predecessor, Brian Cashman, was going to be able to do before he was installed in the same position back in 1998. This is a job, a role, a honor, a privilege that I take extremely seriously. Not to mention the Yankees have a rich history of people in this organization and around this organization that I can look to and turn to for any questions or advice when needed. Thank you for that question. Yes, next.
Well, Jeremy, let me start by saying congratulations on your new job. But what makes you think that you are qualified enough to be the general manager of the New York Yankees?
Well, again, another great question here. Thank you for that. I'll begin with the first part of your question. As for the priorities or concerns that we're going to be addressing under my tenure here as GM, there's a lot to love about this team, present and future, and near present future. And I believe that the priority has to be figuring out how we're going to make this not just a World Series contender, but a World Series winner as a priority, as the priority. And figuring out how to best utilize what we have in-house and what we would have to go outside of the Yankee system in terms of free agent market or other organizations via trade. Ultimately, bringing back championships, plural, to the New York Yankee organization is the ultimate goal. Now, as far as Aaron Judge goes, we know just how talented of a player that he is. There's never been a secret about that, nor a doubt about that. Aaron Judge is a talented individual as a human being and as a player and a real leader on this squad. And we will begin those conversations immediately to get a sense of what Aaron is looking for, what it will take to make him a permanent member of the New York Yankee family. And I believe that there's real interest on both sides to be able to make Aaron Judge a lifelong member of the New York Yankees. Okay, one last question. Yes?
You said that your goal is to bring a championship back to the Yankees. Are there any other goals or, let's say, guidelines or requirements from the Steinbrenners? Or do you have full autonomy to do what it takes?
Another great question. Thank you. Well, I'm blessed to be a part of this Yankee family. And obviously, as I've stated, there are certain expectations that I personally have for this organization and this team, but also things that are passed down to us from the late, great Mr. Steinbrenner, the boss. Now, as far as what those expectations are beyond that, I'm going to keep that in-house. That is something that is to this Yankee organization. Just know that the ultimate goal is, as it has been since 1973, when the boss took over this franchise and this organization, it is winning a World Series championship. Anything less is a failure. So the only goal we have to really discuss is how to get back to being the World Series champion year after year. So thank you for all your questions, and of course, let's go Yankees.
There you have it. The New York Yankees have a new general manager who's set a very high bar for success, where the only way to succeed is to win the World Series. The chase for 28 begins now.